I've been having lots of conversations with people who are interested in self-publishing their book. And the first question I ask them is, have you been reading books that you love? And have you been looking at the books that you love like a reader? Actually, really more like a publisher. And you can't self-publish your book until you understand what it is about a book that you like so much. Is it the cover design? Is it the content? Is it the reader's voice, the writer's voice that you can hear in your head as a reader? What are the things that you really love about the book that that you want in your own book for your own readers? I think this is so important, and it's something that many writers maybe don't think about when they are considering self-publishing. So when you self-publish, you need to think like a publisher, and the person you have in mind is the reader. You want people to read your book, and you need to think all the check boxes. Okay, when someone picks up your book, they look at the cover. This is Maya Angelou's Letters to My Daughter. And they pick up your book, and what's the first thing you notice about this book? Is it the color? Is it the silhouette? Is it the title? The title is actually very hard to see. I would have almost, put this in a different color font if it was me, but who am I to argue with Maya Angelou and her publisher? But then, also look at the size of the book. These are things you need to think about. When you open up the book, look at all of the white space. That is a nice, healthy amount of white space. And here we're looking at the interior formatting of the book, and you can see that the margins are such that when you hold the book, your thumbs aren't on the text. Now, these might be things you haven't thought of before, but these are absolutely things that your reader will notice if you do not have these features in your book. If the text runs all the way to the end of the page and they're constantly moving their thumb around, it's not going to make for a very good reading experience. And the person isn't going to know why, but they're just going to put your book down and maybe not pick it back up. And so attention to these details, like your cover design, like your interior formatting, all of those are very important when we are self-publishing our work. We want people to notice our book in a sea of other books and pick that book up. We also want people to thumb through it quickly if they're in the bookstore or the library and not put it back down. And because of these things, we need to be thinking about what are the best ways for us to engage with a reader in person, and how can we format our book online so that the thumbnail, when all you see is a small image of the book, how can we entice readers online to click on that and hit buy or hit read now or whatever link you have on your website. And so these are the things that matter. And in the course that I'm developing, I'm going to talk all about this and all about how to take your best content and really step into the mind of your reader to give them the best reading experience, and not just logistically, like with the cover design and everything, but also content-wise and flow and editing and all that goes into publishing a book. So we will talk about how to make sure that you have plenty of white space so that your reader doesn't get tired reading your book. Unless, of course, you have a book about sleep and how to fall asleep at night. Then you might want to, we can talk about white space in a different way. And so I think that that is a huge difference between traditionally published books and many books that are self-published now, is that the self-publisher, the writer, didn't take into account the reader's experience and the things that traditional publishers do to ensure that readers don't understand why they enjoy reading your book. They just love reading your book, and the font is easy to read and the spacing is nice on their eyes. And the whole experience is just a very positive experience that they have holding your book. Okay, so we will talk about that more. You can click on the link below if you would like to sign up to receive information when the course goes live. I am still working on it now, but I hope you found this interesting, and a little preview of more of how to actually think like a reader and put the reader's experience first when you self-publish your book?